Hi everybody, I am Rosie from Ability Health and Fitness, and today I am here to speak about behaviour change. In the current situation that we're in, we've all been forced into a situation that some of us might well probably have to change our behaviours or our habits and lifestyles. For instance, myself, I am physically active all of the time. However, exercising at home isn't something that I would normally do. I don't associate exercise with being at home. I exercise at work, I exercise in my studio, I exercise at the gym. But when I come home, that's my time to shut down, spend time with my family, do other things that need to be done. So what I've had to do now, because I know it's important for me to stay physically active, is I've had to adapt the way I do things and set things up in a home environment because I'm self-isolated, so that I can then change my behaviour and start being active at home, because I can't do anything else just now. Now, there'll be things that you need to change, and it's hard, it's really difficult to change behaviours, and you need to be in a place that you want to change a behaviour or a habit or introduce something new. So generally when people are forced or told to do something, naturally we just won't do it. Evidence shows that a person has to come to their own conclusions based on their own thought process and their own reasons to do something, to make a change. And if the person can come to their own conclusion, then they're more likely to make the change and have a positive outcome. So that's what I want to sort of give you a wee bit of advice and help with today. Now, I could give you, for instance, taking physical activity as an example, I could give you 1,000,001 reasons to increase your activity levels, why it's important to be physically active, and all the benefits of doing that. But flipping that round, thinking about me being a wee bit biased, because I am physically active, I keep myself active every day as part of my job, part of my life, and I have done for many, many years. Fortunately enough, I'm benefiting from that, so that's what keeps me going. And even more fortunate, I don't have barriers that are preventing me from being physically active. So what I've done is I've set up a wee task, and this task hopefully will help you to identify something that you want to change. Hopefully it will sort of help you to identify that, and then to put things in place to assist you with making that change, whether it be changing a habit or introducing something new into your lifestyle, or just changing the way you do things. So, and this should be able, you should be able to apply this to anything that you want to change. So what I want you to do is get a pen and a piece of paper. I'm going to run through a series of questions, and I want you just to think about your circumstances, think about the thing that you want to change or introduce, and then try and relate that back to the question that I'm asking. Okay, so pen and a piece of paper. What I want you to do is I want you to write down your thoughts about social distancing. So the current situation that we're in just now, all self-isolating, if you can write down your thoughts about social distancing and how you feel about that. Are you worried about being isolated in the next sort of couple of months? If you do have concerns, I want you to write those concerns down in the piece of paper. Now think about something that you could change that's going to help you in this current situation of being isolated. So think about one thing that you could change that would make you feel better about it, and it would help you, cope with being isolated. I want you now to think about 2 or 3 reasons for making that change, or doing something differently, or changing the way you do something currently. Write down 2 to 3 reasons for making that change. If you decide you're going to make a change, or you're going to introduce something new or change the way that you do something, what I want you to do is think about the most easiest way that you could do that at home. So now you've decided what you're going to do. I want you to think about how often are you going to do it. So in terms of frequency, is this something that it's going to be done every day or so many times a day? So if you can write down how often you're going to do that thing or make that change. Is it achievable to do that? That one thing that you've decided you're going to do, is that achievable to do at home? What space are you going to need, or are you set up practically to do that? How long is it going to last for? Is there anybody else that could be involved? There might be somebody else in your household that could also get involved. Or it might be that there's somebody out with the household that you could tell about this change that you're going to make, and then that might help you then to feed back your progress to the person. Based on that, how will you know that you're progressing and you're doing well? Is it feeding your progress back to somebody else? That would be a good option. Is it that you keep a diary? That would be another good option. Other sort of methods of recording what you're doing is maybe having, something in your fridge, wall stickers. It works for kids. It also works for adults. If you are doing well with your change and then all of a sudden something gets in the way of that, how are you going to cope with that? What will you do if you miss that activity, or if you stop doing that thing that you've put in place, or making that change? Okay, so hopefully now that you've wrote the answer to all those questions, I'm hoping that you've identified something that you can make a change with. You've thought about the things round about that to make that change happen, in terms of how you're going to go about doing it, when you're going to do it, who else is going to help you with that, how you're going to record your progress, and see if it does get to the point where something gets in the road, as it could. Try not to give yourself a hard time about that, particularly if you're doing well with it. What you want to do is you want to just think about how well you've done, how that's made you feel, and then look forward to getting back on track again. And hopefully, that would give you the motivation to keep going as well. Okay, so what I want you to do now is get another piece of paper, and on that piece of paper I want you to write headings, pros and cons, and then think about that one thing that you're going to change. And I want you to write down in the pros column, I want you to write down, without using mine, I want you to write down the benefits of making that change. So thinking about the reasons to make the change, or the reasons to change what you're currently doing, and what are the benefits of doing that. When you've done that, in the cons column, what I want you to do then is think about the reasons not to do it, if you like. So what's going to stand in the way of you making that change, or what's going to make it really difficult, or why not change that behaviour. Okay folks, so I'm hoping that you've got quite a lot wrote down on your piece of paper, or enough. Hopefully now what you do have is you have something specific that you're going to change. It's measurable in terms of how often you're going to do it, how long you're going to do it for, how you're going to record it. it's achievable, it's something that you've identified that you'll benefit from, and that you can make that change. It's realistic in terms of, you know, what you're going to do, how often you're going to do it, how long you're going to do it for, and you know how long that change is going to take place, and it might be a long-term change. So, and with the pros and the cons, I'm hoping that will back up the plan of action that you've just drafted yourself. So hopefully those pros outweigh the cons, and hopefully all of that, you know, in a whole is going to help you to make some change and change your behaviours that's going to benefit you. The other thing to think about just now is we're in a time where literally the pause button has been pushed. We've got time in our hands that we never had before. For most of us, we're on sort of a fast-paced sort of life, and we're trying to juggle all the balls. So this is a time where you can actually look at your current situation, really think about your well-being and your health and things that you can change, and put things in place just now to make changes. And then when we've unpaused and we're back on track with our lives again, hopefully you've made some habitual changes that then you can just apply to your lifestyle long term, which is where the magic happens. So on that note, I hope what we've done today is useful, folks. You, as I always say, ability, health and fitness is all about the ability to make positive change, and you do have the ability to make positive change. So good luck with that, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.